Just going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who do not catch me live, you can watch the replay on my IG channel, Shekia _Danielle _marketing. You can also catch the replay on my IGTV, okay? And so sometime next week, those videos are going to be uploaded to my YouTube channel, and you can go there and just dig in, okay? And so the first night, which was Tuesday night when we started, the first night we talked about sales strategies, right? And then the second night, we talked about how to stay ahead of your competition. And then tonight, we're going to talk about consumer attention. Where is your consumer attention, and how do you continuously capture your consumer attention in this new digital economy, okay? And so this is what I want you to know tonight, that people are sitting at home. People are working from home, and they're looking to be entertained every minute of the day, every hour of the day. People are sitting at home. People are working from home. On their breaks, they're looking to be entertained. They're scrolling for solutions. I mean, just examine your own life for a minute now. You are scrolling for solutions to whatever problem you may have, whether it is to find a particular product, search for a particular service. You want to find that person who can bake a cake like this. You want to find that person who can get this particular ingredient for the food that you're about, the recipe that you're about to cook and indulge in for your family. So people are searching for solutions, right? And people are not only just Googling, but they're Instagram searching, Facebook searching, okay, for the results that they need to find. And they want it to be done immediately, okay? So persons are looking for solutions and immediate solutions, okay? You would have heard the phrase that this is a microwave economy. And no longer are people interested in waiting. No longer are they interested in not only waiting, but going out to get what they want. They want you to bring it to them, okay? They will pay you for the convenience and the ease for you to bring to them what they are searching for. Okay, so that is something that you have to grasp. Okay, I don't care how much times, and you would hear me refer to this a few times in my lives, and even in future lives, I will say this. I don't care how many times persons go out to buy a product and we're in the curbside mode now, okay? We're in curbside mode. We're in lockdown mode. You have to wait outside. I don't care how many times that restriction is placed on our economy, or on our country, I should say. At the end of the day, you need to put yourself in the position as a business that 12 o'clock in the night, at midnight, when I am scrolling, when I am searching for a product, your business pops up and I can place my order. I can place my order to be delivered in the morning, or I can place my order so that while I'm doing my errands, going to the bank or wherever I'm going, I can stop by and pick it up. I don't have to wait in line. Whether we choose to accept if that is where we're at or not as a country, I'm here to tell you tonight that that is where we're at, okay? So how do we now, in this new economy, this digitized economy, how do we capture our consumer attention? Okay, and so the first thing that we have to look and pay attention to. So I'm looking at, you'll see me going back and forth. I'm looking at IG and then I'm looking at Facebook. So just bear with me tonight. I was having a little bit of issues with the software that I'm using to kind of connect both at the same time. Okay, so I'm using two devices right now. So thank you for joining me. And so the first thing that we have to learn how to do is to become a storyteller. Now, I want you to open up your minds tonight. As you relax and as you unwind, open up your minds tonight for what I'm about to say, okay? Become a storyteller. Where does this leave you as a business owner? If you say, man, I need to tell them stories. I only need to sell in this product. I only want people to buy this. I'm not into telling a story. Well, my friend, on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever social media channel you choose to use, you have to know how to tell a story, okay? This new digital economy forces you to become a better storyteller. Major companies, and let me tell you this, major companies are now investing in audio-visual equipment. Companies that used to spend their entire marketing budget on newspaper ads. I mean, the local newspapers booked right out, okay? They don't even have to go searching for business. Now they have to go searching because major companies are now spending and using their monies to now create audio or visual marketing content, okay? Whether it be, and your investment in your audio visual marketing, that may not be a major commercial or contracting a major company, but you may just need to get a new laptop. You may need to get a new cell phone. Okay, you may hire another company to now build your brand story on social media. Okay, so you now have to know how to tell a story with the product that you're selling. You have to create that emotional connection. If I'm not thinking about your product 24/7, but I see that you post about something that I often do in my life, then I'm going to say, oh, there's a need for that product in my life. There's a need for that item in my life. There's a need for that service. So how are you building that emotional connection? When you think about your clothing store, when you think about your beauty brand, when you think about your service-based business, your webinar, your masterclass, everything that you're offering, how are you now telling a story with your post that you put up on your timeline? How are you creating the connection and building the relevancy with your post? You have to make me feel like I need this in my life, okay? And so the digital economy has forced us to be totally transparent, okay? The masks are off. We are totally transparent online, whether it is something good, whether it's bad, whether it's ugly. When we post, when we record, for those of us who are interested in the podcast platform, we are showing up as our true, authentic selves, our own personal brand, okay? And so you have to know when you get in front of the camera, when I get in front of you guys and I go live, whether you're watching me live or you're watching the recording, I am my true, authentic self, okay? The mask or what I would have been able to hide behind with a newspaper article or even a commercial, when I go live, it's me. It's me, okay? You get me for who I am, and you see exactly who Shekia Danielle is as a brand. And so when I post, when I record videos, when I begin to build my brand story on social media, you connect with me even more. Why? Because you've kind of grown to know me. Okay, so when you're building your brand on social media, you have to build that emotional connection. You have to now get in the lives and in the minds, in the home, in the lifestyle, in the routine of that customer. You have to show that customer why they need you. Okay, so unlike in times past, we can get a newspaper ad or record a commercial or build our brand and not be able to connect with a customer. Okay, and so we show up as ourselves in front of our consumers on social media. Customers like when we talk about our mistakes. If I tell you about the top 3 mistakes that I made in my first year of business, you kind of like that. You kind of think that, okay, that's great. That's great. I'm able to connect with her because I'm making those same mistakes, okay? If I show you before and after pics, if I'm selling a product and I say, hey, this is how my skin looked before, and this is how it looked after I used this product, you're now able to relate. So get into the before and the after pics. Become vulnerable on social media. Become vulnerable when you're telling your story. Okay, that's how you get into the mind of your consumers and you build that emotional connection. That's how you capture their attention. That's how you capture their attention, okay? Consumers like when you go behind the scenes, when you give industry tips, industry insights. Okay, like I just said a minute ago, if I say, okay, these are the top 3 mistakes that you want to not make in your first year of business. If I give you some industry insight, if I say, like the other day I posted and I was talking about holiday shopping, and in 2019, statistics reveal that it was 20.1% of consumers that made up the holiday shopping total when it came to e-commerce. So 20.1% of consumers shopped online. Now in 2020, that number has risen to 70%. 70% of total holiday shoppers will be shopping online. Okay. And so you want to be able to connect with your consumers like that. So social has forced us to be non-traditional. It is the idea of what you're presenting that cracks the foundation for today's consumer. Okay, so you have to open up their mind. Okay, it is the idea of what you're presenting, the idea of that result, the idea of that solution, the idea that I can look like that, the idea that I can feel like that, the idea that I can experience this. Okay, it is the idea of what you're presenting that cracks the foundation for today's consumer. Our likability and trust factor is built quickly. It's built very, very quickly when you can crack the foundation, when you can break down those walls, when you can tell that story, when you can build that emotional connection. Our brands are built on being transparent with our audiences. Okay, and so that is what you have to note when it comes to capturing consumer attention. And so when you look at the data collected from countries all over the world, the Bahamas, all over the Caribbean, Canada, wherever you are, when you look at the data collected from countries all over the world, consumers are looking up to brands and looking up to leaders for opportunity. Their trust in their governments are no longer there. Their trust in their governments has gone down, not just in our country, but all over the world. Now, I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not someone that talks politics. That just ain't my stage. But I'm just telling you that their trust in their governments in countries all over the world has gone down. Persons now are looking to build confidence and trust in leaders and in brands to bring a resolve, in leaders and in brands to bring the solution. So if you are somebody that's representing a brand that's going to make my life better, I have more trust and I have more confidence in you than I have in the government. That's basically what that statement is saying. Okay, so that is how important it is to build that trust and to build that emotional connection. Okay, so this gives us a clear message that it is our time. It is our time as entrepreneurs and small business owners. It is our time to put our businesses and our brand out there and to build the pillars of trust between us and our customers. If there ever was a time that people are looking for brands and leaders to build their trust and confidence in, it is right now. It is right now. So now is the perfect time for you to put yourself out on social media. Now is the perfect time for you to launch your business, to present the solution, to bring the resolve. Now is the perfect time. Now is the perfect time, okay? So make sure that you're building that connection and that you're telling a story. You're not just selling. Every time someone sees you, you're selling. What are you giving in value? Okay, what are you giving? What is the picture that you're painting? How are you building that brand story, okay? So people are now renewing and rebooting when it comes to telling their brand story. They're building that experience online, okay? And so that is what you have to look at. Any questions from Facebook so far? Anybody has any questions? Okay, so I'm just going to continue. Let me just continue. Okay, so like I said, you have to build that brand story and you have to build that emotional connection, okay? And so, like I said, when you look at the data that has been collected from countries all over the world, now is the best time to launch your brand because people are looking for brands and leaders to build their trust and their connection in, okay? So this gives us a clear message that it is the time to put yourself out there. People are renewing and rebooting. The core words now going into 2021 are focus, passion, empathy, humanity, agility, communication, and social action. You must focus on what your audience is doing. Focus on what the gaps are in the market. Focus on what you do well. You must be passionate about this. You can't just be willy-nilly about it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to take up space in the social arena. No, you must be passionate about the brand that you represent. You must have empathy. You must be able to connect with people. You must have agility. Oh, if something happens today, you're able to shift. You're able to now maneuver. You're able to now pivot and launch something else. You're able to now maneuver quickly. You're not stuck. You're not frustrated. You're not complaining. Okay? Communication. The communication must be constant. It must be consistent. And then social action. You have to be able to now take action. Take action on your social media pages. Be responsible. Take action on your social media pages. So survey your capacity to create opportunity for your consumer. What does that mean? Survey your capacity to create opportunity for your consumer. Let me break that down. Like I said, if I'm going into business, I am solving a problem. I'm bringing a solution. I'm bringing a resolve. I'm creating convenience for you in some way, shape, or form. I'm making your life easier. That's an opportunity for your potential customer. They're like, oh shucks, I don't have to go search no more for this. I don't have to hurt my head. I need this. I'm in a really tight situation. I need this product. I need this service. Okay, so as a brand, as a business, you now have to survey your capacity to create that opportunity for your consumer. Don't just promise something. Don't just say that you can deliver. Don't just say that you can meet the needs of your consumer and you can't. Do you have the capacity? Do you have the bandwidth to create this opportunity for your consumer? Okay, so let's recap everything we've discussed so far. So in 2020 and going into 2021, in order to capture the attention of our consumer, we have to become better at storytelling. Major companies, major brands have now shifted their focus from antiquated methods of advertising to now audio visual. And I'm going to tap into audio visual in a minute. Audio visual advertising. And what does that mean? They're building stories. They want to build that connection. They want to show you what you could be experiencing. They want to show you how you could look with this new hair, with these new earrings, in this new pair of shoes. They want to show you. Okay, they're telling this story. They're showing you how you look when you go out to dinner. They're showing you how you could feel once you would have gotten this service. They're building that story. You have to build that story, build that connection, okay? Don't just sell. Don't just talk about yourself all the time. Build that connection with your customers. Always have a platform or a forum where you can build that connection with your customers, okay? And persons are looking now more than ever in brands. They're looking in brands and they're looking in leaders for opportunities. They're looking for opportunities. So make sure that your brand, if you're a leader in your industry, make sure that you can present that opportunity and present it well, because you're providing relief and you're providing solution for your customers. So always create a story with your brand, okay? Create a story. That's what you have to do. Before I move on to the next, let me just check and see if any questions would have come in. Let me see if any questions would have come in before I move on to my next point. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move on to my next point. And so the next thing that you have to do is educate your consumer. I'm just going to take a drink of water here. Educate your consumer. Educate your consumer. Educate your consumer concerning the industry that you're operating in. Consumers want to support brands that align with their value system. They want to know that you're a supporter of natural resources. They want to know that you're a supporter of single mothers. They want to know that you're a supporter of taking care of the environment. They want to know that you have a strong spiritual background and you love God and you go to church and all that good stuff. There are people that value certain things in life. And once your brand represents what you value, let me tell you something, your vibe is going to attract your tribe. What do you value? Do you value friendship? Do you value relationship? Do you value family time? What do you value? When you post, when you tell your story, when you go live, when you do your advertising, talk about what your brand values. Because guess what? Even if I don't want anything you selling, and I recognize that you value the same thing that I value, I automatically pay attention because there is something about that commercial. There is something about that live stream. There is something about the tone in your voice that is just capturing my attention. I just want to tune in and hear more. Maybe you're not catering to what I'm dealing with today, but maybe at some other time you will. So I just want to hear more. I just want to know more. And so you have to present what you value. What do you value? What do you value? It could be something so simple. Something so simple. I know everybody is preaching sanitation now in the COVID economy. So every business is valuing sanitation and social distancing and respecting the protocols. And that is great. Please continue to do that. But outside of that, what do you value? Because whatever you value is what people will connect with if they value the same thing. Do not be afraid to say what your brand values are, okay? Do not be afraid to be transparent and show what you value as a brand, as a leader, as an authority in your business. Because if your consumer, if your customer, if your client, your potential client sees the same thing in your post, in your advertisement, in your lives, and they realize, hey, she values or he values the same thing that I value, that's going to be an automatic connection. Whether or not you're selling something that they need or want, they're just automatically going to connect with you. So brand value, educate your consumer and express what you value. When you look at media consumption, persons are choosing or opting in to spend more time consuming content, okay? And this is where I'm going now with this point in terms of educating your customer. So you may be, let's just say you may be in the kitchen washing the dishes. You may be in your room folding up clothes. You may be exercising, taking a walk, but you're listening to an ebook. You're listening to a podcast. You're listening to a YouTube video playing in the background. What content, what educational content concerning your brand are you developing? What educational content concerning your brand are you developing, okay? Are you creating, okay? Persons are driving to work and listening to podcasts and ebooks. Persons are taking a shower, brushing their teeth. I mean, you're a part of their daily routine because they're listening to you. They're consuming your content. When they're cooking, when they're exercising, their headphones are in their ear and they're consuming your content. So make sure that you're producing some sort of content. And it can be something so simple. Like I'll go back to, the retail industry. If you're a clothing store, you can have a forum where you talk about the right clothes for your body type. You can talk about, especially let's just say you cater to full-figured women. You can now talk about, you can have a YouTube channel or Instagram Live, a podcast where you start talking about in the summertime, what can full-figured women do to find clothes right for their body type. If you're somebody that's in the health and wellness industry and you sell, let's just say you have a subscription box that you sell to customers that has all their fruits and their vegetables for the month, you can now create content that talks about, the right foods to keep your blood pressure low, the right foods to give you a long life, the right foods to improve your skin, or the right foods, And so it's just so much content that can be developed. I don't care what you sell. You can talk about anything and everything. People don't even have to be searching for you, but they come across your videos. They come across your content on social media. Okay, and so what educational content do you have out there for persons to connect with? And it doesn't even have to be visual, because let me tell you something. I can't tell you the amount of content that I consume that's not visual, but more so audio. With my Bluetooth or my earphones in my ear, I'm consuming content. It can be an audio book. It could be a podcast. It could be an e-course that I'm consuming. I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm doing something else, but it's in my ear and I'm consuming that content. Okay. And so I've connected with brands. Could you imagine that? I've connected with brands. Just from listening to the content that they put out there. And so guess what? When that brand is offering a promotion, a special, an offer, something is going on, I'm going to be one of the first people to know. Why? Because I've already followed them. I've already connected with them. I want to make sure that I catch whatever they're putting out, because they've made it their priority that they've served me with educational content. So educate your customer. Don't be afraid. I don't care what business you're in. It can be anything. Like I said, clothing, beauty, health and wellness, whatever business you're in, whatever product you're selling, make sure that you have educational content, because people in their day-to-day routine, like I said, when they're driving to work, when they're exercising, when they're cooking, when they're taking a shower, they're consuming content. You want to be able to connect with your consumers through the content that you're giving them. Okay, so make sure that there's a part of your brand that has that educational content. You're serving up value. So the first thing that we talked about was making sure that you build a story with your brand. Your brand is showing persons what they could be experiencing, what they could be feeling, how they could be looking, how they could have this relief, how they could be living their best lives when they purchase from you, when they buy that experience. So the first thing is to build a story, build that emotional connection. The second thing is to make sure that there's a part of your brand that has educational content. Educate your consumer. Educate your consumer. And it could be something that's humorous. It could be something that, life hacks. It could be anything. Make sure there's an educational arm of your brand. Okay. And so thank you guys for the love on Facebook and on Instagram. Nathan Arnett, you said, with so much going on social media, how do companies grab the attention of potential buyers? How do you get them to stop, listen, and take action? The market is always saturated. That's the first thing that I want to say. The market is always saturated. You have to know who you are selling to. There are thousands of companies doing marketing. There are thousands of companies selling food, selling clothes, all that good stuff. What is your unique value proposition? Are you painting a story when you post on social media, when you run those ads? Do you know the pain points of your customer? How are you getting them to stop? How are you getting them to stop? When they see that ad, do they see themselves, or they just see another generic picture? Did you hit them? Did you hit them where it hurts? Did you call them out? Did you touch on the things that they like to experience? And then, are you sure Are you absolutely sure that you've singled out the right target for that product? Okay, so I don't care. There are thousands of other people being, and I touched on this last night too. Don't be generic. Don't be a general physician. Be the specialist. Okay, specialize in something. Specialize in something. When somebody thinks about a particular problem, they think about you. When they think about, shoes, they think about you. When they think about makeup, they think about you. Specialize in something, post about that, hit your audience with the pain points, run those ads, produce the educational content, build the story. That's how you build your connection with your customer. Thank you so much for that question. So I'm just going to continue. And so, like I was saying, you build educational content, and all these forms of educational content that brands have created for people to connect with them, they're awesome. Okay. People love doing two things at one time. People love doing two things at one time. Think about it. You're never just sitting down doing nothing. Even if you're doing nothing, you're thinking about something. People love doing two things at one time. What audio or visual content do you have out there for persons to connect with your brand, even when they just happen to come across you in a search? So there are thousands of other people doing what you do. But oh man, the content, the way you educate me, the way you keep me laughing, the way you come up with these relevant promotions, that just captures me all of the time. Okay. And so once you form that emotional connection, thank you for the hearts, guys. Once you form that emotional connection, they will want to know more about you. People will want to know more about you. Why? Because you've connected with me emotionally. Okay. So now you're a part of my life. Whatever business you are in this digital economy, you should create the relevant content to crack the foundation for your first time viewers. So this may be the first time that some of you may be listening to me. This may be the first time if you're watching the replay. This may be the first time that you've ever heard me speak. And guess what? That's fine. But I can guarantee you this, you won't return if nothing that I'm saying is not applicable, or you don't find it applicable or relevant to you. Okay. So you must be able to crack that foundation. You must be able to hit at things that people are struggling with. People are struggling right now with what they're dealing with. How are you hitting the pain points, and how is your service or product providing the solution? People, you become a part of your consumer's daily routine. And so your brand must be anchored in the things people care about. People may be buying technology to upgrade their business, or buying a cereal brand, a particular cereal brand for their kids. People buy with their hearts and their emotion. Okay. So it's about the value, the relevance, and the purpose your brand connects with. Any type of interactive media where buyers feel like, any type of interactive media where buyers feel like they have to access you. Any type of interactive media where your buyers feel like they have access to you. What did I write here? I'm so sorry. Access to you to shape the product you are creating for them. Any type of interactive media where your buyers feel like they have access to you. You are creating a relationship with them. So build your brand equity. Build your brand equity. Build your brand equity. Okay? You have to build brand equity in this season. Build your brand equity. That's very important. Very, very important. Educate your consumer. So let me just see if there was any more questions. Okay, no more questions. Feel free to drop the questions. Feel free to drop the comments. Whether it's live or in the replay, feel free to do so. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. There's a link in my last post on social media. As a matter of fact, let me get it now. And there's a link also in my bio on Instagram. You can just click that link and sign up there if you want to stay tuned if you want to always be aware of any updates anything that's going on in the Shekia Danielle marketing arena, you can just click that link and sign up. And I'll appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. And so, number 3, be present where your customers are present, okay? So be present where your customers are present. We're on number 3 of how to capture your consumers' attention going into 2021. Oh, that was refreshing. Be present where your customers are present. Where do your consumers spend their time? I don't care if another media house says, okay, we have 10,000 readers, or, we have 70,000 listeners. I don't care what the data says, okay? I don't care what the data says. Where are your consumers now? Where are they spending their time now? I don't care about yesterday. Where are they spending their time now? Where are they spending most of their time? In their spare time, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they Googling? What are they searching? What are they buying in their spare time? What are some other things that your consumers like? Okay? What are some other things that your consumers like? So, okay, let's go back to, let's just say you sell clothes again. And so obviously your consumers are searching other clothing sites, okay? What are some other things that your consumers like? Are you talking about shapewear on your sites as well? Because obviously anybody that buys clothes wears spines. They're wearing shapewear. Are you also talking about nice candles that they can buy to keep in their home? Because if your market is between, let's just say, 30 to 55-year-old woman, more than likely they like scented candles as well. So are you talking about scented candles on your page? Are you talking about how you relax? Okay, so know what your audience is interested in. Where are they spending their time? And also, what are they losing sleep over? Don't just hear these questions and then just say, you know what, I've heard this before. No, think about it. What are they losing sleep over? What is really keeping them up at night? Talk about those things on your pages too. What is keeping your audience up at night? What is keeping your audience up at night? I don't care if you're selling water. What is keeping your audience up at night? If you are not digitally native, if you're not talking about these things on your platforms, if you're not digitally native and your only behavior is founded on a sales-driven intent, then your strategy to being a trusted, long-standing, reliable brand is so vulnerable to crashing, okay? You have to be able to now talk about the things that your audience is interested in. And you have to give value. Not just in the area where you bring a solution or a resolve to a problem, but in the other areas of their life that they're concerned about. Okay? So go down, get a piece of paper, write down what age group you're catering to. What do they value? What do they like? What are some of the things that are keeping them up at night? And then just allow your mind to flow in creating content. You'll be surprised how much posts you come up with, how much promotional ideas you come up with. Okay? You'll be surprised. So when producing content, to use it as a lead generation for your business, the number one rule is to do everything in reverse of what you're feeling. Meaning you don't, while you're calling out the pain point, you're also bringing the solution, okay? And always remember to give value. Give. Build your brand equity. Show that you care. Show what your brand values. Be self-aware of the way that you communicate and choose what platform you're going to use to bring the value. Is it going to be an audio platform? Is it going to be video? Is it going to be blogs? Is it going to be, I'm super good and so good when it comes to design. And so my posts, oh my gosh, the graphics on my posts are going to be amazing, okay? So build your brand and then sell for longevity. So once you give, you're automatically building longevity. People are going to, when they think about anything dealing with the things that you always talk about and that you educate them about, they're going to think about you. So the minute you drop a special, the minute you talk about something that you're offering, you've already built your brand for long lasting success. Okay? And so we talked about several ways that you can keep your customers' attention. You can stay in front of your consumer. And I think that's it for tonight. Any questions? Any questions? Thank you guys for spending your night with me. Any questions? We talk about being a better storyteller. We talked about educating your consumer. We talked about being present where your consumers are present. That's how you continuously capture your consumers' attention going into 2021. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, I'll be signing off soon. And if you're, like I said, if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate that. If you're watching the live or you're catching the replay, drop your questions in the comments. Feel free to hit me up. Feel free to hit the link in bio and sign up to stay aware of all of our promotions. I really appreciate you guys spending your 9 o'clock hour with me in relaxing and unwinding with me, okay? So tomorrow is Friday. So have a happy Friday, everyone. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if there's any particular topic that you want me to talk about, so far we've covered how to stay ahead of the competition. We've talked about, choosing. I don't think we've talked about choosing the right business model yet. I've done snippets of that, and then we've talked about staying ahead of your consumer. Keeping the attention of your consumer going into 2021. So if there's any particular topic that you would like to see presented in one of these live sessions, please feel free to inbox me, hit me up, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do so, okay? So thank you guys. Have a good one.